Hey everybody, this is Harry coming to you from the beautiful Live Oak Cemetery here in Suwannee County, Florida. There you go. That's our mic to show the cemetery. Anyways, I skipped E last week because I wasn't feeling it really. But I had plans for the weekend with the missus, and that took precedence over letter E. But for letter F, I'm going to do a movie, talk about a little movie called Free and Easy, starring Buster Keaton and Anita Page. Came out in 1930. It was Buster Keaton's first starring talkie film. He did one previously to this, MGM musical, but he didn't speak in the film. But it was a talking film, but he didn't speak in the film. And this was the beginning of the decline in this film for Buster Keaton. Actually, when he signed with MGM, was kind of the beginning of the decline for Buster. A little backstory on this: Buster had signed with MGM after he did the General. The General was a box office flop at the time, and it was one of the costliest silent films made. And him and Joseph Skank is how he pronounces his name. Anyways, kind of parted ways, and Buster signed up with MGM, thinking that he would get a better deal, more money, and still have control over his films. That didn't turn out to be the case. And when he signed his first film with MGM was called The Cameraman, which is actually a classic film. It was a great film. Buster had a lot of control over that film, more so than any film that he'd done afterwards with MGM. Irvin Thalberg, who was the producer of MGM, executive at MGM, did not want Buster to have his own control. They wanted to control everything. They had a vision for him and how they were going to use him. And so he did A Cameraman, Spite Marriage, that musical review. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was one of the first films that you can see him wearing a little raincoat. If you look YouTube it, you'll be able to see it. I think it was during the Singing in the Rain bit. And then he did this movie, Free and Easy, and it's not a bad film. It's fun. There's a lot of gags in it. And basically, the story is this girl won a contest. They live in Kansas, and Buster winds up being her manager, to help her get to Hollywood and to get her a film contract to star in pictures. And of course, the girl is young, and she is escorted by her mother, who is kind of a very loudmouth, brash kind of woman, takes no crap off of nobody. And hold on here, I wrote her name down. By a woman named Trixie Fraganza. She plays Ma Plunkett. And then the girl, Anita Page, her name was Viola Plunkett in the film. And anyways, they go to Hollywood and get off the train. There's a little bit of a thing at the beginning of the film where Buster's kind of absent-minded, kind of goofy. He was asked to speak, and the train started moving, and then he almost missed the train. Gets on the back of the train with the conductor, and they wouldn't let him go through the executive car, so he had to sit there until the next stop so he can get off and go run. Well, the two women are sitting on a train, and the conductor's going by clicking tickets, and they don't have tickets or money to pay for their fare, and they don't know where Buster's at. Buster's character in the movie is Elmer J. Butts. Seems to be a running thing with him in these MGM films, where his name is Elmer. Plays a lot of Elmer characters. So his character names is Elmer. Anyways. So the two women actually meet on the train. Robert Montgomery, he plays an actor on there. They recognized him, and he kind of falls for Viola, and then wants you know, kind of hook up with her. In Hollywood, got her 2 tickets to a premiere of a movie that's starring William Haynes, who was an actor, and it kind of goes on from there, and it goes through a lot of the studio, MGM studio. They actually use the actual MGM studio a lot. You'll see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of cameos in the film. You can spot him. Cecil B. DeMille is in there talking with 2 other people. Fred Niblo, the director, he has a bit in there what lasts about 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, with Buster. Pretty funny, actually. Fred Niblo. You also have William Haynes, the actor, and Jackie Coogan, who played the kid in the Charlie Chaplin movie, The Kid, and also Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. And Lionel Barrymore, as well, makes an appearance as a film director in the film. So, and basically it's a showcase film, the show at MGM, to kind of show off their stars and directors and their lot and how they kind of make movies and such. It's like I said, it's not the best movie, but it is kind of funny. It has a lot of good gags in it. Found myself chuckling a few times. During the film, there's, like I said, the Fred Niblo. He's a director, and he's trying to direct Buster in a scene where he plays a messenger, and he's trying to get the words, and Buster keeps getting the words mixed up. And Niblo is just besides himself. You know how they always do with the directors back in those days, kind of make them like dictators and horrible people, but he over exaggerated it. But it was, it's a comedy film. So it is available on Warner Archives collection. I own all the MGM films that Buster Keaton did, and it's also on the Turner Classic Movies. There's a three film set that came out a few years ago, and I also have that as well. I bought off of eBay, and it has that Spite Marriage and the Cameraman on it. But I also have it from the Warner Archives collection, and the reason why I have that because it has the Spanish version of it called Estrellas. I think that's how you pronounce it, where Buster is speaking Spanish phonetically. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it has a Spanish cast except for Buster. Just does everything again in Spanish. So if you want to check it out, you could go to oldies.com. They're not a paid sponsor. God forbid anybody would pay for any of my videos to sponsor. But anyways, they are having a sale right now on Warner Archive films, and you can pick it up there for about $11, $10.98 for that on the Warner Archive if you're interested in Buster Keaton, his MGM years. He did a few movies after that, The Doughboys, What's Up Beer, and Bedroom Parlor, and can't think of the rest of it. But anyways, he did a bunch of them, and it was just his downfall after that. Alcoholism, his divorce for Norman Talmadge, losing his children, in the divorce, and having their names changed to Talmadge from Keaton. Took a toll on him, alcoholism, and then when he left MGM, he went to Educational Films, did a bunch of shorts there, which are available now through Kino. You can see those. And then he went to Columbia Pictures and did some shorts there in the 30s or 40s. But he was also a screenwriter and gag man for a lot of people like Red Skelton, the Marx Brothers, and such like that during those years, during the lean times. So anyways, check it out. Buster Keaton, free and easy. 1930, silent, not quite silent, talkie film. Thank you for watching. Comment if you like. If not, so be it. Give me a thumbs up anyways. Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye. Oh, by the way, Mike, alligators are not chasing me.